Welcome to the first hands-on where we actually want to apply Python to a notebook and learn how to use Python and program stuff in Python and do data analysis in Python and so on and so forth. By doing so, the first thing we need to do is open our Colab or Anaconda Jupyter Notebooks application. Let's dive directly into it. I'm currently here in Google Colab, and if we open that, the first thing we are asked is which notebook we want to use. So we can use one we already used in the past, we can make a new one, or we can upload one here on the top right. And that we will do because we will have, I will have provided a template for you called Python Basics Template, and we open that. Now it's being uploaded. Once it's uploaded, it will open in the browser and we can start working with it. So that'll take a sec, but we're already there. Still loading, now it's here. And as you can see in this template, I already have a lot of text blocks where I explain stuff to you in different parts. And then I have, after each text block, a code block where we actually want to apply the things I explained on top of it. So I'm explaining them, then we apply them with code, and then sometimes I have an exercise like you can see here where I want you to print hello world later on, where you apply it yourself. The videos will be as follows. So I will explain what we want to do. I will show you what we want to do live in the video so you can program it on your own template as well. If I'm too fast, make the video slower. If I'm too slow, make the video faster. So make it in your own pace. And if you didn't get something, go back in the video, watch it again, and if that doesn't help, ask me questions. So overall, the idea is for each of these blocks, text block, code block, there's one video, and then there will be the next video. Afterwards, if we have exercise, the video will end. You can try to solve the exercise on your own, and then it will have a separate solution video before we go to the next block. That's how the whole template is built, and this is the idea. So we'll start with the Python basics. Now, basically, Python is a programming language, but as well as scripting language where you can write scripts, as well as it is one of the most famous data analysis tools currently. So it's quite versatile, and this is for several reasons, because it's really efficient in the runtime. It can run on cloud, it can run on mobile architecture, it can run on your local architecture. So it's really versatile like Java, but more efficient, more easy to code, more versatile in what its application for. So basically, you learn one language, you can do a lot of stuff. You can program websites, you can run big programs doing automation, but you can do data analysis as well. So far, we want to focus on the basics. We already had a lecture on how to program and stuff like that, and now we want to apply them in Python. Some basics to Python, Colab, or Jupyter Notebooks, or any notebook. We have to learn some stuff in the beginning. So you can either write a text block, sometimes called Markdown as well, or a code block. Text blocks are shown here, and you can manipulate them if you double-click them, or you have code blocks where you can write code and then execute it by a play button. You can choose which to do. If I hit a button, a new line of code block will be below. In those code blocks, I have to learn some stuff. For example, if I write a hashtag, that's always a comment. So this is a comment, right? And if I hit play, nothing happens because comments aren't executed. Comments only mean that they will help us to remember what we're doing here. So for ourselves, if we comment our code, it will tell us this is for that, that is for this, so I can follow my code afterwards and it's easier to read. This is what comments are for. And comments are done by a hashtag. Further, everything we write is basically code. It can either be that we write a method, a function which is already predefined, and we use that. or it could be a number. So if we write 1, 2, 3, Python already knows because it's shown green, it's a number. If we write just other stuff, it thinks it's some command which will give it a method, function, or anything. If we want to write a string, so text, and it should be interpreted as text, we need to use brackets. So here is text. So numbers, probably a function, and text. But the thing is, if we now, for example, want to check, let's check if the string is accepted and the code works. If we want to do this, and we write here is text, we need to somehow tell the program that it needs to show us this text we wrote here. And the easiest way to do something like this is use a function which is already built in, which we will use quite often for debugging and testing if everything works, which is called the print function. This is the most basic function we will need. Print means whatever is in those brackets will be printed to the standard output. And the standard output is just under this code text block. There will be then an output printed to the HTML document in that case, where stands whatever is in those brackets. So, and this is a function, as we can see, it's called print, and functions we usually identify by those brackets going open and closed. So what do we do here? And we want to print exactly, here is text. So, and now we want to execute this, and how do we do that? We usually execute stuff by pressing the play button. And what do we execute? Then we execute the current block. So by pressing this play button, we execute everything which is in this current block. Since this is a comment, this is a comment, this is a comment, those will be ignored, but this line will be executed. Let's play. It runs, and here's an error. So this error was quite easy. I'm executing it again. Sometimes stuff happens like this. Somehow I typed space once. So it interpreted this line as space print, and it didn't know what that means because print is print and there's no space in front of it. So by deleting the space which went in there accidentally, it works, and we see in the output, in the standard output, which is always below the field, here is text as a string as we put it into. So that's for the first Colab basics, and we will see us in the next video about variables.